All right, so Bernie Sanders put out the most important plan of this entire election. It's an anti-corruption plan. It's an attempt to get money, big money out of politics, and we're going to go through it. This is really important because this plan is the key to all the other plans. You want to get Medicare for all, you want to get free college, you want to end the wars, everything that's polluting Congress, all the corruption, you want to end it, you have to get this one passed. Because this will allow you to fix corruption in Washington and get corporate money and big interests out of the Senate, out of Congress, out of the House. Okay, this is the most important one. So let's go through it. Okay, so the first thing is Bernie wants to ban all money that goes to the Democratic National Convention. Okay, so after the primary, when they have this big event for the nominee, a lot of corporations, they come in, they sponsor it. He wants to ban that. Now, honestly, that's not going to please all the corporate prostitutes at the DNC. Okay, I'm pretty sure that when they read this plan, they lost it. All right, because that's their livelihood. That's their whole reason for being in politics. They're not here to serve anyone. They're there for the money. And when Bernie says, nope, we're not taking it, because since he'll be the nominee, he can say that, they're going to have a meltdown. But that's the first thing he wants to do, okay? And that's good. He's starting with his own party. Because if you say, oh, the Republicans are corrupt, the Republicans are corrupt, no, both parties are corrupt. And that's what Bernie says. And that is the truth. Okay, so that's the first thing that Bernie would do as the nominee of the Democratic Party. He'll start cleaning up his own party, right? But then if he actually wins the presidency, he also has bigger plans for election reform in general. So what he's going to do also is ban corporations from donating to the presidential inauguration. Because a ton of corporations, they come in, they spend big money to garner favor with the president and make sure that, you know, later on during his term, they can get laws passed that benefit their profits and their big interests. So he's going to ban that. Okay, so he even listed in his bill, AT&T, Boeing, ExxonMobil, General Motors, Coca-Cola, they all spend millions and billions at the inauguration to garner favor with the president. It's over. Bernie's president, he don't want it. Goodbye. And he also makes mention that private prisons donated hundreds of thousands of dollars during Trump's inauguration. I mean, the concept that you have prisons paying for anything. What is that? This sounds like a dystopia. It sounds like something out of 1984. It's unbelievable. Also, Bernie, he's going to ban all corporate donations and he's going to lower individual donations to $500. The other thing that Bernie's going to do is he's going to reform Citizens United and Buckley versus Vallejo. So these are the cases where the Supreme Court decided that, yeah, corporations are people and money is free speech. I mean, that literally makes no sense. But this is the law. These are the laws that they have managed to pass, the corporations and their lobbyists, in order to influence elections and buy politicians and spend enormous sums of money to buy their way into the government. Okay? So he's banning that. He will pass a constitutional amendment to circumvent those cases decided by the Supreme Court, okay? Because that way, they can't turn around and say, oh, you're unconstitutional. No, because this amendment will be part of the Constitution, and it will assert that no, corporations are not people, and no, you cannot spend as much money as you like. Money is not speech, okay? This is paramount. If Bernie gets this passed, oh boy, this takes the political system in Washington and flips it on its head and actually makes it a real democracy. Boy, wouldn't that be a good change? So you see why this is the key. Because Big Pharma won't be able to just buy candidates anymore. They won't be able to donate as much as they want. Same with big oil. Same with the military-industrial complex. They can't do that anymore. Because money ain't speech and you ain't a person. This is why it's so important. Another thing he wants to do. He wants to abolish the FEC and replace it with the Federal Election Administration. So this will be its own governing body within the government. Do you understand? Which will give it a lot more teeth. This will make sure that elections run smoothly and that there's no influence of money, that there's no influence of corruption. Actual body of the government that deals with elections, that makes sure that they're transparent, they're democratic. Funnily enough, this is not just a Bernie Sanders idea. This was also proposed by John McCain. So when it comes to corruption, you even have people on the Republican side who are against it. All right. Surprisingly, not too many on either side. And another big one, he wants to introduce something similar to what Yang had in mind, right? democracy dollars. So he calls them universal small dollar vouchers. So he didn't say how much they were going to be worth, but what it means is that every person, every citizen who is of voting age will be able to donate to the candidate of their choice. They'll get a voucher and they can choose which candidate to give it to. Why is this important? Because it levels the playing field. All right, because right now the corporations have all the power when it comes to elections. They can donate as much money as they want because they have that money, and money is considered speech. But citizens are down here. They ain't got no money. All right, so I mean, you still have huge grassroots movements, but when you give these vouchers to people, oh, look, the people have money too now. All right, so it levels the playing field. It makes things fair. Now, honestly, under Bernie's law, the corporations wouldn't be able to donate anyway, so they'd be gone. And all the power would go to the people, which is how it should be. All the power should be with the people. I'm sure there are tons of people who want to donate to Bernie, who want to donate to Warren, whoever their candidate is, but they can't because they're broke. So this would give them that opportunity. Again, it levels the playing field. This is very good, man. And yeah, again, Bernie isn't the first one to come up with this. Yang had this idea, and I think Kirsten Gillibrand as well. So he's not the first one, but it's good that it's in the plan. This is such a comprehensive plan. And honestly, this isn't even the most important point. For me, honestly, you asked me, getting the corporate money out of politics, that comes first, man. Every time. All right, without a question, that is the most important one. Man, and you can bet they're going to fight tooth and nail to make sure that Bernie doesn't get the nomination and get into the office, man. This is the end of corporations. This plan, man, this is the key to everything. Because when he's going to try to get Medicare for all passed, when he's going to try to get all the other things passed, Green New Deal, dude, the government won't be filled with people bought by corporations who don't want Medicare for all, who don't want a Green New Deal, like Big Pharma and Big Oil. They won't be there. Why? Because you won't have corporate money in politics anymore. This is the key to everything. This is unreal. And the fact that Bernie's the only one who has a plan like this, man, forget it. I don't care who you support. You got to support Bernie Sanders. Bernie's the only one with a plan like this. You know, Elizabeth Warren says that, you know, one of her big things is anti-corruption. I mean, I ain't seen nothing like this from her. We ain't done yet, though. We ain't done. There's still two more things. Bernie wants to ban all advertising during presidential debates. I think that's great. You know, in other countries like the UK, not only do they not have advertising, but each candidate gets like 40, 45 minutes. They get a huge amount of time on TV to just speak and announce their platform and what they represent. Free of charge. No interruptions. Here's the podium. Tell us what you're about. Okay? And another big one is he wants to ban the revolving door. What does that mean? He wants to ban former members of Congress from becoming lobbyists. This is huge. Or should I say huge? This is a big one because lobbying firms love former Congress men and women. They love former senators. Why? Because those people know how the game works. They're insiders. They've been in the mud. They've been in the system. They know how Washington works. So when a lobbying firm gets a senator, a former senator or a former Congress person in their firm, man, this is a platinum card. Because this person used to be in Congress, used to be in Senate. They know how the game works. They know what debates have been, what kind of debates have been going on. They know who to talk to. They've done all the networking. All right. So this is their key to the other lawmakers who are currently serving. They know who to reach if they want to get this or that done. And this plan, Bernie's plan, would institute a ban on former Congress persons or senators from becoming lobbyists. Okay, so if you served in Congress or you served in the Senate, that's it. You can go work as anything else. You can go become an airline pilot if you want, but you ain't becoming a lobbyist. All right, you ain't going to join a lobbying firm and then tell them how Washington works and tell them who to contact to get this. No, you're not getting that insider knowledge, and you're not going to infiltrate and corrupt Washington with corporate influence anymore. It's over. So man, this Bernie's plan is the bombshell. This is the bombshell. All right. And what makes my head explode, the only thing that the Washington Post took away from this was, oh, Bernie's just putting this out because he wants people to stop talking about his health. Dude, who cares? Even if that were true, this is so good, man. I mean, it's like Cenk Uygur said, man, if Bernie got this done from the hospital, I mean, that just means that he's Superman. Okay? I don't think that's the case. I'm pretty sure he's had this in mind for a while. Man, many people have had these points in mind for a while. But the fact that Bernie's doing this, man, there is no question. You have to vote for Bernie if you care about anything. Okay, this is not about, oh, you should vote for Bernie because he's going to stop money in Washington. No, because this plan will let everything else get passed. All right? Stopping big money in Washington and big interests and corporate money in Washington is going to let you get Medicare for all and let you get a Green New Deal and do all the other progressive reforms that we're looking for. This is the key. And man, as usual, over and over, time and time again, Bernie Sanders proves he's the only one. He's the only one, man. This guy's been doing this for 40 years. All right, he's been saying the same thing for 40 years. He ain't never flip-flopped. He's a straight shooter. Bernie he ain't corrupt, man. He's fighting for the people. He's fighting for the people, man. This plan is amazing.